Good evening. January 2nd, 2021. We're going to do the Week 17 NFL picks. Let me go into what I did last week first. I went 8-8, which is just a crescendo of mediocrity. But I did run my record to 136, 86, and 1 for the season. It's a 609 winning percentage, which is not god awful. I'll have to take it for now. Let me set up what's going on because tomorrow's D-Day for the NFL. It's all contained on Sunday. Let's see what's going on. Buffalo is in a game where they have the opportunity to knock out somebody from the playoffs. Buffalo is going to care, unlike Pittsburgh, who could knock out Cleveland. But Pittsburgh doesn't care because Pittsburgh doesn't have seeding to worry about. Buffalo does. So Buffalo is going to care. They're going to show up. The NFC, you got Green Bay and New Orleans are both worrying about that number one seed. They're going to care. And Seattle's going to care because they've got a chance to either retain or move up. And that seeding matters. So in games that they might be in, they're going to care, where Pittsburgh does not. Win and you're in scenarios in NFC. Arizona wins, they're in as the final wild card. They lose, and Chicago also loses, they're in as the wild card. Arizona loses, and Chicago wins against Green Bay. Remember, Green Bay cares. Then Chicago gets into the playoffs as the final wild card team. The AFC, there are 4 teams with 10-5 records. They're separated by different tiebreakers. You got Miami, you got the Ravens, and you got Cleveland in right now. Okay, Pittsburgh doesn't care about Cleveland, so Cleveland, may very well win. Ravens will probably win, like I'm saying. Miami's the one that has to go to Buffalo. Buffalo may knock them out of the playoffs. That's what the Colts are hoping for because they're the ones on the bottom of that. If Miami loses, then it will be the Ravens, Cleveland, and the Colts that will go to the playoffs. So let's run this. Let's run this big time. Last scenario also is the Fighting Ron Riveras are going to be they're going to be up at the Big Cheesesteak in Philadelphia, and they're going to be playing. It's a play in your win and you're in scenario, and if they lose, then the winner of the Dallas New York Giants game is going to win the NFC least. The least, for sure. So let's get into these in chronological order now that we have the table set for all this stuff, okay? We've got the Dallas Cowgirls going up to the Big Snoopy to play the G-Men, and I believe Dallas will get this done. They've got a better second half. I have a little bit of trepidation picking them, though, when you think of the fact that Andy Dalton in his Cincinnati career, if you said playoffs, he'd throw a couple to the other team. He would choke with the best of them. Just not been a good big game quarterback. I'm hoping that Ezekiel Elliott is running the ball better in the second half after he's recovered from COVID. I think maybe we're looking at a situation where he could be enough. It is not a high conviction pick at all. Giants could show up and win this game, but I think it'll be Dallas. All right, so let's run through the rest of these. Miami gets up to Buffalo. I think Buffalo cares about the seeding. I think Buffalo wins that game and knocks Miami out of the playoffs. And that'll be to the benefit of the Colts, so long as the Colts win. Colts lose, Miami stays in the playoffs as the final wild card. Atlanta, hopefully this will be the end of the Raheem Morris experiment in Atlanta. They're going to go to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is just going to use them for live practice. Tampa Bay will win that game and get themselves a little bit of momentum going to the playoffs. Dumpster Fire in New Jersey is going to head up to New England for a less than riveting game of who can suck less. New England will win that game and suck just a little bit less than the Dumpster Fire in New Jersey. Baltimore's going to head out to the Queen City, and they're going to get themselves into the playoffs with a road win over the Cincinnati Bengals. Pittsburgh has decided they're going to wave their hands in the air and they don't care. They don't care if Cleveland gets in. They don't care about the seeding. They're already locked into the number 2 seed. So Pittsburgh is going to just sit Roethlisberger. They've already announced it. So I believe Cleveland will win. Cleveland really needs to win to get in, but this is also a referendum on the Baker Mayfield experiment in Cleveland. I think this will get him to stick around. He has been playing well down the stretch. Minnesota, a little bit too much of the run offense, maybe just enough defense to beat Detroit on the road. And then we head into the Sunday afternoon games. This will be a hoot. The Vegas Raiders found a way to only be a 500 team this year with the defensive lapses, but they are what they are. But I think they're a vastly better team than Denver. I think Las Vegas gets to 8-8 on the road in Denver. Arizona is a win and you're in. They're going out to SoFi. They're actually allowed to play at their home team at their home stadium, the LA Rams. It isn't going to matter because Goff is out with a thumb injury. I think Arizona wins that game on the road despite the fact that the Rams have an excellent defense. The LA Chargers are going to head out to KC, and they will be basically cannon fodder for KC. They'll be the sacrifice of the week. I think KC dispatches them fairly easily at home. Jacksonville will cement their number one pick, which will end up being Trevor Lawrence next year, or in the draft later this year, at Indianapolis, who must win to possibly get in, as so long as Miami loses. At Miami, Ravens, or Cleveland loses, the Colts can get in with a win. I think Indianapolis gets that win. Green Bay heads to the Windy City, where they will take care of Chicago. They weren't going to get in anyway. I think Arizona was going to win anyway, and that would have knocked them out. But I think Chicago still loses against Green Bay. Who cares about seeding again? New Orleans is going to take care of Carolina on the road. Seattle's also going to do the same to San Francisco on the road. Tennessee will take care of a hapless Houston on the road. The Fighting Ron Riveras will take care of Philadelphia and get themselves into the playoffs. Miles Sanders is out for Philly. Alex Smith is playing. Okay, like, share, subscribe.